your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Welcome in, Wicked Boston Show. Cam Stuart here, your host. Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week on Rogue Media Network, live on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Today, of course, we are talking Patriots. How about 9 in a row? The 10-2 New England Patriots taking down Cincinnati, but it was ugly. We're going to look at some of the red flags that came up from this victory, a 26-20 win in Cincinnati. We're going to have Mike Debate of Sports Illustrated, Monday Morning Mike, joining us to talk about Will Campbell's injury, Jared Wilson's injury, what that means for this team going forward. Is the lack of depth finally catching up to them? And speaking of Boston teams with an injury problem, the Patriots are not the only one. The Bruins go 1-2 on the West Coast trip. Are they losing ground at the most valuable time of the regular season? All that and more coming up on this episode of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. But we start where we start. The talk around Boston today is the Patriots' 9th win in a row. They take down the Cincinnati Bengals 26-20 on the road, and boy, it was ugly. I've got good news and I've got bad news to come from this. The bad news is I didn't love this. I didn't feel good about this. I'm going to be kind of a negative Nancy here. There's a lot of red flags that I saw in this game that might change my expectations for the Patriots come January. The good news is we have expectations for the Patriots come January, right? The good news is that we can be a little dissatisfied after a win in the NFL, because there's only been one time that's really happened with the Patriots the last couple of years, and that was last year against Buffalo in the last game of the season when they just weren't supposed to win. And we were all mad. But this one, you were like, man, they shouldn't have won. And they did. So there's good news and bad news that comes with this. But look, the good news, again, kind of from a game standpoint, is they won. They scored more points than the other team, and it's tough to win in this league, as we have learned over the last 2 seasons. The bad news is there's a ton of red flags for this Patriots team that popped up yesterday. Obviously, you have the injury problem. We're going to talk more about that with Mike Debate, and your quarterback started the game horribly, just horribly. That first quarter, Drake Maye couldn't throw the ball into the ocean. He throws the pick six, the first of his career. And with that one, I was like, you know what the problem is? He hasn't even needed to thread a needle one time yet. His guys have been open. He's just missing them. That goes back for a touchdown. And then the real red flag for me in this offense was how they operated in the red zone. They had 9 plays inside the 10-yard line yesterday, 5 plays from the 1, and they could not register a touchdown against the worst defense in football. 1 field goal in the red zone, and the line of scrimmage was the 1. That is not good, folks. Like that is not good at all. And I love this stat I saw from Tom Curran. On 3rd and 10 this year, the Patriots are exactly 80%, which is like bonkers good. Like that is so good. Between 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 15, they're 11 for 24. That is also bonkers good, man. That's like 60%. That's so good. On 3rd and 1, they've ran the ball 12 times, and they have 7 first downs. Now, percentage-wise, that sounds great, but 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 13s are not the same in terms of their statistical impressiveness, right? 7 of 12 on 3rd and 1 kind of sucks. In fact, it's 20th in the NFL. Their conversion rate on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 is a combined 57%. That's not nearly good enough. So when you're putting that all together, the Patriots are much more likely, about a 25% more likely, to convert a 3rd and 10 than they are a 3rd and 1. We've seen this team in the past play some big games. I don't know, the Super Bowl, the AFC Championship game. Those 3rd and 1s are massive plays to stay on the field, and the Patriots cannot do it. Like, that is a real concerning sign for me. And you look at kind of the lens of complementary football, and there's this one area where the Patriots, physical and metaphoric area, where the Patriots are terrible. Their red zone offense looked awful yesterday against the worst defense in the NFL. Statistically, one of the worst defenses of the last decade in the NFL. And they consistently couldn't get 1 yard, couldn't execute basically 2-point plays. And that is a real concern for a quarterback that's this good and an offensive coordinator that's this good. And that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of how bad their run game is. When you have a quarterback that's this good and you have Josh McDaniels as your OC and your play caller, you should be able to get 1 yard. That's embarrassing. There was that stretch where they had 9 straight goal-to-go plays. One of them was outside the 10, but 9 straight goal-to-go plays in that third quarter, and they couldn't score. And leading up to that, by the way, to get to the goal-to-go situation, their previous 3 plays went 86 yards. Remember, this is when they had the 3rd and 11 inside their own 10, 45-yard pass to Pop Douglas, and 2 plays later, they're at the 5. And then they couldn't score on 9 straight goal-to-go plays? Yeesh, man. That's a bad look against a good team, and that was not a good team they played yesterday. Like, breaking it all down, they won by 6 against a team that was down their starting quarterback, their 2 top receivers, essentially. I mean, Higgins goes out in the third quarter, but he was invisible before that. And without their 2 best defensive players. And you couldn't score on them from goal to go. You couldn't score on them from the 1. Then you look at the other side of things. Their red zone defense still stinks. It's the worst in the NFL. And the Bengals were 1 for 1 in their red zone trips and scoring a touchdown. So anytime a team gets the ball inside the Patriots' 20-yard line, they're scoring 3 out of 4. 3 out of every 4 times they're putting the ball in the end zone. So every time you step on the field, the Patriots are at a massive disadvantage in a big and arguably the most important part of the field. That's concerning. Do I think this team's going to, tank and crater? No, but that is concerning when it comes to these games, these important games in December, which is next week, and in January. I'm talking about these games against the Ravens and the Bills, and then whomever is coming into your house in the divisional round of the AFC playoffs or the Super Wild Card round. There's still time for that. And defensively, it looked okay yesterday against 40-year-old Joe Flacco. It looked okay. They had a pick 6. Fantastic. They made some plays down the stretch. It got really hairy, right? They had the ball inside the 30-yard line at the end of the game, or I guess inside the 35, maybe the 40. They were throwing it inside the 30. And this is the 3rd week in a row. After this was such like the greatest run defense we've ever seen, it's the 3rd week in a row they've allowed more than 5 yards per carry. That's also not a very good sign for a team that was hanging its hat on that. And you still haven't had your Carlton Davis injury yet, which comes every year without fail. He misses time. You've gotten great play, obviously, from Marcus Jones and Christian Gonzalez, but it's all wearing thin. And by the way, those run numbers, they're probably not going to get much better. Milt Williams out for at least another 3 weeks. Tonga went out of the game yesterday. Kyrus Tonga was out early in that game. You do not have a lot of beef up front all of a sudden. So we talk about the red zone. Your offense stinks and so does your defense. When it comes down to a running game, all of a sudden the Patriots look very vulnerable. They're without a lot of the big guys up front who stuff the run, and they have not run the ball effectively really all season long. And you got Ramondre Stevenson back in the lineup yesterday, and that's great and everything, but 6 carries for 5 yards is not bringing you much success. Not at all, actually. And Terrell Jennings, 1 carry for 0 yards. You're giving the ball to him at the 1-yard line. You're not that team. And it feels like the Patriots are just really trying to be that team and say, we are going to be some tough SOBs. We are going to be able to run the ball down your throat, but you're not that team. And when I'm looking at these goal line plays, I'm thinking back to Tampa last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, 2 weeks ago. Looking back at that Tampa game where you ran the clock down, you go for it on the 4th and goal from the 1, and you throw it to Steph Diggs. You just get him open. Like, how was that not a dress rehearsal for this? Tampa's got a better defense than Cincinnati does. And yet, 2 different times down there, they said, no, we're a running team. We're going to run it right down their throat. And the result of that was a goal line stand And Mike Vrabel caught on camera having to put up the 3 for a field goal, and I thought he was just going to lose it. He's like, oh, fine. 3. He's scratching his head, doesn't know what's going on. That is something that the Patriots do need to figure out, and I don't know if it's something you get this year. And that's what really worries me. I don't know how you improve this run game this year. You know, your 2 rookies on the left side of the offensive line are going to be out. You know, it doesn't look like these are necessarily season-ending things, but they're going to be out a couple of weeks here. And your running back room is not getting any better. It's not getting any beefier. You know, Ramondre Stevenson is clearly playing through an injury. Terrell Jennings sucks. Dearness Johnson sucks. Travion Henderson is a fine player. We love Travion. He's not an every down back at this stage in his NFL career. He's just not. He's not a 3-down guy. So you have got an issue here that isn't just going to be solved next week. It's not going to be solved by the fact that you're going to have an 8-day rest and then a bye week. You know, you're hoping that gets some more guys healthy and that Will Campbell won't have to miss as many games as he would normally have to if they didn't have a bye week so late in the damn season. But that's something where I don't know if the reinforcements are necessarily coming your way. But the good thing about this, after I say all the bad things, is that the Patriots won. It's nine straight. You know, Buffalo didn't win this week. You know, they didn't play well and they lost. The Patriots didn't play well and they won. And Drake Maye, after having that putrid start to the game, all he does is have his career high in passing yards for a single game. Like I'll say that's a bounce back. I still think there were issues there. You know, they got the ball in the end zone one time on completely busted coverage against this dog shit defense. But you got a big game from Hunter Henry for the first time this season, like a real big game, 7 for 115 and a touchdown. May accuracy-wise, it's not great. It's a 3rd straight week. He only takes 1 sack. So that's an improvement. You know, there are other things in this Patriots offense that is humming along / getting better. Kayshon Boutte being back didn't do much. I think he only had 1 catch. It didn't do much 2 catches, sorry, in terms of the production, but having him back there is huge for this team down the stretch. And he completed passes to, oh my gosh, let me see this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 different pass catchers, 9 different guys. There were carries for 5 different guys. So the depth is an issue, but it shows that the Patriots are willing to try anything here. They are willing to try anything. And it did come down to kind of the final drive of the game, but you got to win. You needed to win. You got the win. And now we just get ready for another still pretty bad team, the New York Giants, who gave the Lions a run for their money yesterday on Monday Night Football next week. Let me know what you thought about this Patriots game. Was there more red flags than good for you in this game? Let me know in the comment section below. What is going to hamper this team down the stretch, if anything? Because we're still playing with house money here. I still love this team and I believe in it. But, man, there were some bad signs, I think, that came across in the game yesterday. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you every weekday live, noon Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. It's your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mike Debate of Sports Illustrated Patriots on SI. We call him Monday Morning Mike because he comes in and he helps us make sense of all that happened. We're going to talk about Will Campbell's injury. We're going to talk about how this run game could hinder the Patriots down the stretch and what are going to be the beneficial things of the Patriots playing one game in the next 20 days. It's coming up next after this short break on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
Do you know about the 3 T's of Thanksgiving? Turkey for eating, table for gathering, and touchdowns for winning. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in before dessert. And with DraftKings Sportsbook, all the action's in your hands. First touchdown, anytime TD, live bets. Every play, every snap, every game counts. Big plays, bold calls, and bragging rights. When the games get good, the bets get better. Here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. When touchdowns happen, we feast. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code CAMSHOW. That's code CAMSHOW. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-878-9777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio limited time offer. Welcome back. Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. Cam Stuart, Zach Burke, keeping us on the air. We're live on YouTube as we are every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. We're going to have Mike Debate of Sports Illustrated, Patriots on SI, joining us in just a few minutes here, it looks like. But we're going to be breaking down more of what happened in that Patriots game yesterday. And while I'm on a bit of a negative roll here, may I continue to bitch about this Patriots winning 9 games in a row, winning more games in a row than they have in the last 2 seasons combined. I just thought it was a kind of a damper at the end of the afternoon after the Patriots win. And you're like, okay, whatever. It's a win. You sweat it out, but it's a win. What I really was down on was the fact that the Chiefs won yesterday and beat the Colts. I had that almost never rooting for the Colts, but the Patriots could really do with the Chiefs just missing the playoffs entirely. And statistically, it's not a long shot. Obviously, it feels like a long shot because they're the Chiefs, but they could really do with them just not making the field at all. Because the prospect of Patrick Mahomes coming into your building in the AFC divisional round is frightening. And the Chiefs do, like, if we're going to do NFL schedule talk here, if we're going to do it with the Patriots, looking at the Chiefs and what they've got coming up, you got short week, Thanksgiving on the road in Dallas. Now, a couple weeks ago, that didn't look like that tough a game, but with what the Cowboys just did to the Eagles yesterday, maybe that is a tough game. Then you host the Texans, primetime, Sunday Night Football. I know Zach likes to bitch about the Texans, but they did just take down the Bills, okay? Then a big divisional home game against the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers are kind of fading, man. They are kind of fading. Titans on the road, easy. But then Broncos at home, and then at Vegas, the end of the season. So you look at that 6-week stretch, 4 of them are not nailed on victories. They're not. And they're 6-5 right now. So if that's a 10-7 team and the Chargers get their shit together, is there an avenue where the Chiefs just miss the playoffs entirely? I really do think it's a bit of a stretch to say that they will just completely miss the playoffs, but I think that would be great for the Patriots. I don't think any team in the league is hoping to face Kansas City in the first round, home, road, otherwise. Nobody wants Patrick Mahomes lining up across them. So it was a good day for the Patriots in that they won. It was a little frustrating in that there were some red flags there. But really, the worst part of it for me was the Chiefs coming back in that game, being down, 17-3, and coming back in that game and winning it in overtime against what is still a good Colts team. I don't know if they're quite as good as the Patriots, but I do think that's a good football team over there. And of course, the concern from the Patriots side of things was Will Campbell and him going down in that game. He's been ultra reliable for you this year. I wouldn't say he's a all pro kind of guy, but he's been ultra reliable for you as a rookie at left tackle. And he goes down and he's carted off. He's got the towel over the head, and oh boy, it does not look good. And that could spell trouble for the Patriots in the rest of this regular season. It was an ugly gut check win for the Patriots, but we'll take those in the NFL. That's 9 in a row for the Pats. They sit at 10-2 after the 26-20 win in Cincinnati. And here to help us break it down, as he does every Monday, we have got Mike Debate from Patriots on SI. Monday morning, Mike, back at it after we had him on a Friday last time. Mike, I watch all these TV shows, and they're just obsessed with the reboots these days. I'm like, enough of the reboots. And yesterday, watching the Patriots, I promise I'm going somewhere with this, it felt like a reboot of the infamous body bag game between the Eagles and the Redskins. Man, I don't think I've ever seen that many injury timeouts in an NFL game. And it looks like it might just be a sprain for Will Campbell. That's the rumor. Mike Vrabel says more than a week or two. But it's probably, knock on wood, not a torn ACL, which looked like it could have been that, the way he was being carted off the field, towel over the head, emotional, all that.
Absolutely.
But what does that injury mean for the Patriots if he's out multiple games?
Well, it could mean a number of things for the New England Patriots. First of all, it definitely means that the left side of that offensive line right now is not only going to be missing Will Campbell for at least the foreseeable future, but also word coming down just a little while ago that Jared Wilson suffered a high ankle sprain, likely to keep him out anytime between 4 and 6 weeks, although the Patriots are officially listing him as week to week. He's a likely candidate for IR, which means if he does go out, he's going to miss the foreseeable future and a good chunk of the remainder of the regular season. So now you're looking at Ben Brown being penciled in on the left guard position and the tackle position. That could be an issue. Vidarian Lowe, I know, is a pro. He's been around the league for a while. He's been your guy when Will hasn't been able to step up to the plate. Both he and Marcus Bryant, now the rookie, a lot of light's going to be shed on these guys. Can they step up and weather the storm and keep that ship sailing in the right direction? Because Drake Maye has had a great amount of protection so far from Will Campbell. Like you said, a reliable guy on that line that gives you everything you need and nothing that you don't most of the time. So they're going to be missing Will on the field. I think most importantly, they're going to be missing him in the locker room and on the sidelines. From the players that I spoke to, they're heartbroken for Will because they know that he thrives on being out there and being a leader just simply by example and by his personality. That counts for a lot, especially with the way this team is playing. So not great news for the New England Patriots, no question about it. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, this could have been a whole lot worse. Thankfully, their injury status gives them hope to each come back in time for the playoffs. And the Patriots need to hope that that happens.
Big time. I just really thought I had Vidarian Lowe out of my life. I thought that was the case. It's keeping me humble as the Patriots win 9 in a row. But looking at that, you mentioned it in there, the whole unit, right? it's not been like a top 10 unit or anything. They've been better in pass and they have been in the run game and the run blocking. But we remember last year, that was one of the worst offensive line units I've ever seen. And just to make that jump this year, Mike, from just totally horrible to okay, league average, maybe bottom half of the league, but not bottom third of the league kind of offensive line. How much of a difference has that made in the Patriots' success?
Oh, it's been huge. The fact that you have an offensive line now that is not considered an automatic liability is so much, attributed to the success of Drake Maye, the success of the running game, which I know Patriots fans are still waiting for that running game to really show its face and really show up. And we didn't see a lot of it yesterday. There were reasons for that. That offensive line was decimated by injury, and they were affected by it the same way that Drake and the passing game was going to be affected by it. But they're finishing their blocks. They're playing with a completeness. They're playing with a purpose once again. And I want to give an awful lot of credit to Doug Marrone, who I think has done a great job in keeping that unit in line and making sure they all know their role in Josh McDaniels' offense. McDaniels, as you know, loves to mix things up. He is not an easy offensive coordinator to play for. It's advanced football analytics 101 when you step into a Josh McDaniels classroom. And your linemen need to know that. They need to know the nuances. And Marrone has definitely brought them up to speed and helped them to be able to do it. So if there is a line that can weather this type of a storm, they may be well positioned to be able to at least keep the ship afloat for a while until repair crews get in there and they can do their thing. And then the Patriots can keep sailing on. Right now, I feel much more confident in this line than I would have if this happened last year. Yeah, this would have been an absolute decimation, and you can probably scrap the season after that. Patriots have a chance to keep things going here, but they're clearly going to miss the production that they're getting out of the left side, especially when it comes to Campbell.
Yeah, and one of the things that has made this offensive line so effective, best abilities, availability, and they had basically the same five for every game this season. And I think chemistry can be a little overrated in sports, but not on the offensive line. That's where it is proven time and time again that it is not overrated. And I like to shout out to Doug Marrone because, we were starting to think around here, can the Patriots organization put together an offensive line that's not coached by Dante Scarnecchia? Like, is it even possible when you look at like the last 30 years of Patriots football? And I think they put a lot of confidence in Doug Marrone this year by not making a bunch of depth moves at the offensive line position in free agency. Obviously, we know those come at a huge premium. It's not like they're growing on trees. And taking a chance on Will Campbell in the top 5. That showed a lot of confidence in your offensive line coach. And certainly it has come to fruition so far this season. And again, I mean, we're just scratching the surface of this here. And this is a good tackle draft as well coming up in 2026, unlike last year. But looking at the guy they're protecting, Drake Maye, I'm going to break this down into 2 questions here. Looking at the win yesterday against Cincinnati, you've seen every snap that Drake Maye's played in the NFL, and you've seen all the growth this year, Mike, and all the things that he's doing right. And then you watch that first quarter. What was going through your head watching that first quarter of Drake Maye yesterday?
He was having a rookie moment, without any question about it. Now, I don't know what was necessarily causing that rookie moment, but you start 3 of 7, you throw a costly pick 6, and all of a sudden that feeling that you have, that feeling of confidence that we've seen Drake and we've watched Drake with all season long, starts to wane a little bit. You start to wonder, all right, maybe the moment's getting a little bit big. Maybe he's going to start to show his second year, problem. I mean, obviously Drake is not a rookie. This is his second year, but it's his first full season as the starting quarterback of a team that is not only in contention for a playoff spot, they're in the prime position right now. They're in the driver's seat. So it's a lot for him to carry on his young shoulders right now. And that's why I'll say he had, like a rookie moment, in that regard. It's not necessarily I'm being literal. I'm being more figurative in that case. But the one thing that really made me feel like this is different, and this is not something that Patriots fans need to worry about, is that he didn't have his quicksand moment. He didn't dig his feet in and start to say, okay, this is going wrong. That's going wrong. Where do I go from here? we've seen Patriots quarterbacks go into that type of tailspin and not be able to pull out of it because of the mistakes that were going on and everything that was going on around him. Drake remained focused. He did buckle down. I think he had a much better second half than the first half. To me, delivering that 39-yard strike to Demario Douglas on a crucial third down conversion that was needed showed to that team, I'm still in charge. I'm still capable of leading this club to victory. This may not be our best effort, but it's going to be a winning effort, and we're going to get out of here with a W, and that's exactly what the Patriots did. So rather than hang his head in adversity, Drake showed a little bit of mettle, stepped up, and he did what he needed to do. This week is about refining some of the technical problems and the technique problems that we saw him have on the field. Patriots will do that in practice. I have every confidence in that. Josh and Mike are going to work him hard, no question about it. But the desire and that unending spirit to just keep going is in Drake Maye. And I don't think it's anything that Patriots fans have to worry about throughout the next few weeks heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, he does throw for a career high, by the way, 294 yards through the air. So he definitely picked himself up off the mat for sure. And so kind of just going off of that, that looking back in that first quarter. So are you saying that it was kind of that, maybe some jitters or maybe just not being on the same page? Was there anything that Cincinnati was showing you of like, ooh, that might be something other teams could use? Or was that just Drake not being Drake?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think Cincinnati came in knowing that the Patriots were going to try to exploit the run game, and they were trying to force Drake into making passes and taking the lanes away from him. They did a very good job, I think, of taking some of the marquee receivers out of the game, and that's something that they really wanted to do. But again, you start to have moments and you start to have, issues where you're throwing incompletions and you're not getting the same looks that you used to. Some of that's on Drake as well, and it's just not Drake being Drake. But once he was able to buckle down a little bit and you saw him settle in and understand, all right, this is what the Bengals are doing. This is how I'm going to counter it. That's a maturity that you don't see in young quarterbacks that often. That's why Drake is being mentioned among the MVP candidates right now. So, yeah, I think the next opponents, like, for example, the New York Giants coming up a week from this coming Monday, are going to look and they're going to say, okay, well, yeah, let's take a page out of what Cincinnati tried to do in the first quarter, try to confuse him a little bit, try to keep him off his game. But I don't think they uncovered a blueprint now on all of a sudden how to defend Drake Maye. Drake pulled himself out of it pretty well. I think he'll be, solid going forward. And I don't think you're going to find this game as being taking the bloom off the rose when it comes to the Patriots quarterback.
I love that. I really loved his, 39-yard throw to Pop Douglas on that 3rd and 11. And this looks like an unbelievable drive. They're 3rd and 11 inside their own 10. They go 3 plays to get 86 yards down to the 5-yard line. And then all hell breaks loose, Mike. I mean, just what the hell happened after that? I still don't really know. That's why we bring on Mike Debate to try and find out. 9 plays inside the 10 yesterday in general, not just on that drive. 9 plays inside the 10, 5 plays from the 1-yard line, and managed just 1 field goal in that against the worst defense in the NFL. Is that a red flag?
I'm cautious to say it's not a red flag, but it's something that definitely concerned me throughout this game. Now, if we see a trend developing here, and meaning a trend, I don't mean going into multiple games. I mean, if we see this continue against the Giants next Monday, yeah, that's something that you definitely have to keep a sharp eye on and say, this is not the way the New England Patriots have been operating up until this point. This needs to change. They need some red zone efficiency, and they need it quickly. But it surprised me a little bit yesterday, especially when they had an opportunity to punch it in twice. Ramondre stopped cold on the 3rd down attempt. You go for it on 4th down. Yeah, this might be an opportunity to bring out Andres Borregala's kick, get the 3 points on the board, keep the Bengals on their heels. They chose to try to go for it. I understand it's close. You get a pick flat play with Hunter Henry as the passing option. That, to me, looked like the lane that could have been taken. They didn't do it. They handed off to Ramondre once again. He stopped. That could have been a momentum killer. But again, much like Drake Maye did, picking himself up off the mat, dusting himself off, and then moving back forward, Patriots defense comes right out in the ensuing drive, forces a 3-and-out. And they automatically take whatever little momentum that the Bengals were building at that point, took it right back, handed it right back to the New England Patriots. So as long as this team continues to support each other in that regard, yeah, you're going to see them win close games like they did yesterday. They just have to hope that that continues. And the best way to hope that that continues, don't put your battery mate, don't put your your wingman, so to speak, in that type of position.
Yeah.
When you're in the red zone, punch it in, get the sure 6 points. That's the way that they can show their gratitude to the defense. But yeah, we saw some of that yesterday, and I was a little concerned, but I'm not so much concerned to the point right now where it's worrying me. Get back to me after we break down next Monday's game. If it keeps happening, yeah, then I'll be a little worried.
And here is the thing that kind of gave me hope as I really brought myself down from the breakdown I was having yesterday watching this team play inside the 10 was I think back to 2018 and Josh McDaniels in December of that year. Remember, they had lost a couple of games in a row. Right. They had a late bye, or maybe it was a Thursday going into the next Sunday. They had some time, and they basically changed their offense. They said, you know what, the thing that we are doing well is running between the tackles. And we saw that team, unlike pretty much any other Brady team, run between the tackles in the postseason, and it led them to their last Super Bowl. Here you got one game in the next 20 days. And I know Josh loves establishing the run. Even when he has the best quarterback ever, he loves establishing the run. But could this be something where, Josh is going to get in the lab a little bit and they're going to have to admit to themselves, look, we're not a we're not a push the pile 1 yard, we're always going to get it kind of team, like when they had LeGarrette Blount or even someone like a Damian Harris, and just say we're not that anymore. And Josh can cook a little bit with some short yardage situations. Like, do you think that gets resolved by the time they do have the Bills and the Ravens?
I think there's a chance, and I think that the fact now that they're going to be facing the next few weeks without Will Campbell and Jared Wilson may end up forcing their hand. It may end up giving Josh a little bit more of a leash or a little bit more slack in the leash, I guess is the best way for me to put it, to start incorporating some of those short yardage plays, those goal line stands that allow them to get a little creative and keep teams on their heels. I do believe that what you're saying is absolutely true. And listen, Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson can absolutely be a part of that. There's enough athleticism and enough savvy to be able to run a short route, catch the ball if they need to on a short pass, or get creative with some patented Josh McDaniels trickery that could end up, giving teams some fits down the line. There's enough talent to be able to succeed at this level without being that push the pile every single time you go and you push, you're going to get it. Unfortunately, they do not have the master of the quarterback sneak in under center any longer with Tom Brady. Drake is capable, but it's not his best strong suit. So in that regard, yeah, I'm all for maybe a little bit of a readjustment in the way they do business down there, because Patriots are going to need to utilize the runners, especially in the open field, for significant yardage gain as that weather starts to get colder. And if they're going to have playoff games up here in Foxborough, yeah, you're going to need to run the ball effectively in order to be able to win.
And we're just still waiting for that to kind of come together. Still waiting for that to all kind of come together. Mike Debate will definitely be breaking it down once it does come together, or even if it doesn't, he'll be here too. After every Patriots game here on the Wicked Boston Show, Patriots on SI. Mike, just tell the people, tease us a little bit, what you've got coming out. What's your big takeaway from the game?
Absolutely. Well, it's more of the same when it comes to the coverage that we're providing you from SI. Definitely check us out on New England Patriots on SI. We're going to be breaking things down with takeaways. We're going to be going through grades, snap count reports, and of course, we're going to continue to break down all of the very latest on the injuries to Will Campbell, to Jared Wilson. Kyrie Tonga left the game yesterday with a chest injury. Yeah. He didn't come back. Brendan Schooler could be on the shelf for a little bit. We're going to continue to break those down. Definitely check us out on New England Patriots on SI. And of course, we're also launching a brand new podcast, myself and Ethan Hurwitz, All Patriots Talk, going to be available on the On SI channel as well. So keep a sharp eye out for that as the playoffs arrive.
Gosh, we certainly will. And we will certainly be keeping you around after every Patriots game this season as well. Mike, always appreciate you taking the time and for the thoughtful breakdown.
Anytime. Thank you so much, Ethan.
There he goes. Monday Morning Mike. Of course, it'll be a Tuesday next time we've got him after the Patriots and the Giants. So be sure to stick around and check out Mike's work for all the breakdowns of the Patriots going right now. Give me your takeaways, though. The injuries, the red zone stuff, winning ugly. What did you think of this Patriots win in Cincinnati on Sunday? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Of course, come at you live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. It's your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, The Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to put a bow on this thing because it's not just the Patriots that are dealing with injuries. The Bruins might be sinking with their injuries as well, and this stat definitely proves that. Is it coming at the worst possible time? That's coming up next on The Wicked Boston Show.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Welcome back. Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. Your host, Cam Stuart, Zach Burke, keeping us on the air 5 days a week. Special thank you to Mike Debate for hopping on. Special thank you to the Sun, who's made quite an appearance in this episode for those watching on YouTube, where we are live every weekday, but we're also available wherever you get your podcasts as well. The Patriots are potentially going through an injury crisis right now, but that kind of pales in comparison to the Bruins. Are the Bruins getting hurt at the worst possible time in the regular season? They lose 2 out of 3 in California, and it's pretty obvious that they are down a lot of their firepower. And it is an important time because Thursday is Thanksgiving in America. There's one more game separating the Bruins from the American Thanksgiving holiday. And as we know, American Thanksgiving is when those teams in the playoff positions are making the postseason 80% of the time in the NHL. And the Bruins are still hanging on. They're in the first wild card. It's the slimmest of margins. Everybody in the Eastern Conference right on top of each other. And it's Boston and Philadelphia in that second spot, just hanging on with 26 points each. So you're kind of playing with fire as to whether you're going to be in that position. Now, of course, it's not the end-all be-all, right? There's still 5 months left in the season, 4.5 at that point. But we know the numbers are the numbers, and this is the first kind of measuring stick. And you're really starting to see the injuries take the toll on this Bruins team that really couldn't afford it. You know, they didn't have a ton of talent anyway. They were making do, and now they're not. Bruins 1-2 on the trip to California. They scored 6 goals in 3 games. Morgan Geekie scored 5 of the Bruins' 6 goals in California. He's having an awesome season. I'm a huge fan. It's a wonderful story. But he can't be scoring 5 out of 6 goals. You got to get something else. You have to. And you got Elias Lindholm back yesterday, but you sent Charlie McAvoy officially to the IR after that surgery. And his cheek looks like a softball. And you're still down Casey Middlestat. Victor Arvidsson as well. He's on the IR. And you look at the lines they put out yesterday. And somehow it's even worse than what it looked like when you started the season. Last night against the Sharks, a fine team and better than horrible. Last night against the Sharks, your left wingers were Marat Husnudinov, Alex Steeves, Tanner Jeannot, and Riley Tufte. Those were your left wingers, 1 through 4. I love Husnudinov. He's been awesome. I just really love his game. Is doubtful he's a first-line player anyway, but he's filling in admirably at center because he's a center. But that had to be your top left wing. Your top left wing player is a guy who's actually a third liner, and he's actually a center. That's not good. And it's all coming at bad times in terms of like Casey Middlestat was playing real well before the injury. Victor Arvidsson was giving them a really nice lift before the injury. Charlie McAvoy looked like the best defenseman on the team again, and then he got injured. Which leads me to my next point. Your right shot defensemen last night were Aspero, Yoki Harju, and Peak. Those were your 3 right shot defensemen. And you still needed to play Peak the least amount of minutes because you need to put him with Lowry. Jonathan Aspero and Nikita Zadorov, that's not a top pairing. That is not a top pairing. I don't care how well the goaltender's playing. And this Zadorov, man. You guys know I love Zadorov. I do. And I've actually advocated for him to be the captain. A captain doesn't do what he did last night when he's got the puck in Gretzky's office and sends Swayman to the bench himself, waves him off to the bench, unlike the coach doing it. Zadorov waves him to the bench and then skates up and proceeds to turn the puck right over. And 5 seconds later, it's in the empty net. Like, that's not what a captain does. That's what a guy who wants to be the captain does. And it fails miserably. Let's just worry about checking guys. Let's just worry about pile driving them into the boards and getting a physical edge for your team. Let's not worry about setting the goalie to the bench, shall we? It's a tough stretch. Obviously, we know this is not a nailed-on playoff team to begin with, but I do find it sobering that these kind of injuries are derailing a Bruins team, because as much as Casey Middlestat and Victor Arvidsson were giving you before they got hurt, I think it's very sobering to take a step back and say, if Victor Arvidsson and Casey Middlestat being hurt is temporarily derailing your season, if you're sitting there and saying, boy, the Bruins will get their money right once Victor Arvidsson and Casey Middlestat are back, then you're probably not that good a team to begin with. But yeah, it's coming at the exact wrong time for your Boston Bruins. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more Bruins content, boy, do we have it coming for you tomorrow. Every Tuesday, we drop the Garden Level podcast. That's through the Rogue Media Network. It's myself and Dan Conlon. We're doing it every Tuesday. Drops in the evening, once a week, with segments going out through the week and all kinds of different stuff going out on the YouTube channel. So find us there and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton, helps me keep my job. And let me know what your thoughts are on the Bruins and the Patriots in your comments section below. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It's every weekday, noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcast. It's the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. We'll see you tomorrow.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit opengoaalusa.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.